Welcome,
Yep.
Felipe, to METALLERIUM Pages. It's a great pleasure to talk with you about AXTY and this new album, The Pain Made Me Who I Am, and more things related to the metal in general. So we are starting by asking, how are you doing today, and how is the band during the last couple of years? Because your previous album was released in 2022.
Yep. Hey, nice to meet you. Nice to chat with you. I'm fine. Hope you're doing great too. Um, I don't know what to say about the. Can you repeat the question, please? Sorry.
Okay, so how is doing the band during the last years before after your previous record and now this new?
um. So from the last album, we released, I believe it was in 2024.
Mhm.
We've been doing great. We did our first international show in Mexico. Uh, then a couple months later, we did our first USA tour. And then, yep, that's it. And then we signed with Napalm Records.
Mhm.
Then we're about to release The Pay Me Who I Am. So that's it.
Okay, okay. Well, and this question is about more related with the last part that you said. Well, your this new album, The Pain Made Me Who I Am, are releasing with one of the biggest labels in the metal world, like is Napalm Records. So how it was just to sign with them? How was who put in first in contact? Them, you, or how it was the first approach to them?
So we had just released this May, in December 2024, I believe. And then a couple months later, Chris from Napalm reached it out, and he said that they want to sign us, and that was like a huge, um, that was huge for us because we never thought that we would be in a label like Napalm Records in so little time, you know.
Mhm.
Uh, and it's been great so far. We're gonna release our debut with them. Um, and yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. The album title "The Pain Made Me Who I Am" feels like deeply personal and serves as a powerful statement about resilience. Many bands write about the struggle, but specifically emphasize how that trauma ultimately shapes identity. So, can you share the exact moment or turning point that inspired this specific title, or how it sets the tone for the entire record?
So the "Pay Me Who I Am" is a, it's a phrase, it's a line that I like to say, because it basically means that if I like where I am now, things that I'm doing, if I like who I am, that was this is the this is the result of all the trauma and pain that I went through.
Mhm.
So that's basically it. But that comes with a lot of trauma. So that's the we have a lot of highs and lows in the album, um, picturing that.
Okay, okay. So AXTY or XT. So XTY's originally started as a created outlet to cope with anxiety and depression. Looking at this new release with Naval Records, it feels like those early emotional outlets have evolved into a massive global message. So, how does it feel to look back at your first bedroom demos compared to massive polished sound that you have achieved on this new album?
um, that's a great question. So, as I said earlier, it is like a huge accomplishment for us to be here today in so little time. Um, I was in my room doing the demos and starting the band like 5 to 6 years ago. I don't know. And being with Napalm in so little time, it's awesome. Um, One thing that I would like to mention is that we are also self-produced, so we are evolving with the time, you know. So Jonathan, our guitarist, is the responsible for the sound, for the polished sound, for the massive mix, and yep, we are really happy with the result, and we hope everyone enjoys it as we did, as we did enjoyed writing it.
Hmm. Okay, okay. Musically, this record is a roller coaster. You successfully blend modern, like metalcore, crashing parts with the deathcore slams, and even subtle hip hop rhymes without losing your core identity. So, how do you approach the songwriting process to ensure all these different genres blend naturally rather than sounding forced?
So the main thing we look for is just having fun and doing what we love. So we like we listen to a lot of stuff, a lot of different stuff, and I believe that you can notice that when you're listening to the album. We really like um, deathcore, metalcore, slam, death metal, new metal, rap, hip hop, a lot of things, and I think it was like a natural move for us to put all the stuff we like in the songs. And yep, so the main thing is just having fun and trying to make our ideas cohesive.
Great. Great. So, the track "Who I Am" has quickly caught everyone's attention, especially because it features an unexpected sample from The Office right before a brutal breakdown. So, whose idea was it to include that pop culture meme? And what was the reaction in the studio when you decide to keep it at the final cut?
Yeah, so I really like to put memes as we break down call outs. I believe that's a um, nice way to like break the tension that we did earlier and make the breakdown sound more brutal and heavy. So we've been doing that like for 2 years, I guess. We did it with flowers and butterflies. We did it with this mate, and in the beginning of 2025, I started watching to The Office with my girlfriend, and when that part came on the show, I was like, oh, we need to use that as a breakdown call out because that sounds perfect, you know. And then I just put it there. The guys like it. I believe Napalm like it. And yep, that's it. We have like the next single we're releasing. It has like two memes on it. I'm not sure, but that's a thing we like to do.
Hmm. Okay, now your vocal dynamic on this album is incredible. So you smoothly transition from few very emotional, clean melodies to some of the most aggressive inhuman growls in the current scene. So which track on the Pain made Who I Am challenge you to the most technically as a vocalist and why?
First of all, thank you. That's I'm really happy with your words. So I believe that the track that challenges me the most is probably Who I Am and All I Love. Probably, I'm not sure because all the tracks have their own difficulties, you know. But since those tracks have singing parts with screams and drives and everything, I believe that those are the hardest to sing.
Mhm. Okay, okay. So mostly the band openly mentioned that in 2025 was a highly challenging year for the band behind the scenes, and that the energy of those struggles directly fueled like the creation of who I am. So how did channeling that specific group frustration into the studio help the band heal and move forward together?
Oh, that's a tough question. So we had a past member that was like a person that was hard to deal with, and we had like a lot of unspoken stuff to say to him, and we used that as a fuel for some songs, um, and that helps by itself. But yeah, we put a lot of trauma and struggle in the music. I believe that the "Payment Me Who I Am" is one of the darkest albums we've ever made. Um, Mostly because of that. 2025 was a rough year for us as a band, as individuals.
Mhm. Okay, okay. So the album Closer and This deals with the incredibly heavy themes like dissociation and self-destruction thoughts. It leaves the listener with very raw, like unprotected look into your mental health. So why did you decide that a specific emotionally heavy track that was perfect, not on which to end the entire album experience?
So that's the ironic part of the "Pay Maybe Who I Am," because we
Mhm,
start like up here with "Who I Am." I'm saying that, oh, you can try to break me, but I love the pain. You won't break me. I'm tough. And then as the album evolves, I'm like scared and frightened and with suicidal thoughts and everything. So the "Pay Me Who I Am" is like an ironic um, line because of that. And this is one of the most pessimistic songs we've ever written. So that felt like it had to be on the end because after all the pain, we have a lot of trauma. You know.
mhm. Okay, 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 I understand. So now talking about a little more about the promotion for this new record, and well, for the future especially, what kind of promotion do you have for XT and this new record, The Pain Made Who I Am? And perhaps you will enroll no tours, release more videos. So in general, what kind of plans do you have for the band and this new record?
So we have one more single to release 3 days before the album drops. Um, we have we will probably do a bunch of music videos after the album drops. Unfortunately, the tour we had scheduled for September um, won't happen with us, but um, I hope that we can tour the US, Europe early next year to promote the album. So, yep, that's it. We are doing a release concert here in Brazil that we are going to film. So, we are going to release some live versions too, so people can see what to expect when we go on tour.
Hmm. Okay, 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 okay. I understand completely. So now, little going beyond a little more for this. It's just not just the bands and more things related to the metal in general. So as you can see now, the metalcore relies heavily on the backing tracks, scenes, and pre-recorded layers, or to recreate complex studio productions live. So, however, there is a growing black backlash from fans who demand 100% raw, organic for the live performance. So where does AXTY draw the line between using technology to enhance the live show and lose it the authentic, so spontaneously energy or real heavy the metal performances.
So on our previous releases, we were going like crazy on the tracks. I believe the "Payment Me Who I Am" is the one that we are like, you can only hear like guitar, bass, and drums, you know. So we've been getting more raw in the studio, so we can sound more closer in the stage. Um, Personally, I don't condemn people that use tracks. I believe that's a tool that we can all use, but people have been doing that like a lot, a lot. Like I've seen people using guitars on the tracks, and the guitarist it's just like their head banging. Um, but yeah, I hope that's something that would change with the time. People will get more people, real people playing. You know.
Mhm. Okay. So, and with the rise of AI tools in music production, artwork creation, and lyric writing, the metalcore scene is highly divided. Some artists look at this as a helpful tool, while others see it's a complete threat to human creativity in general. So, given that your album is deeply rooted in raw human suffering and personal growth, what is your instance of bands using AI to write riffs, lyrics, or design their visuals? Is there any line that AXYTY will absolutely never cross?
No, we would never cross the line. We would never use AI to write songs.
Mhm.
Um, we've been seeing people lose their jobs over AI, and we've seen a lot of new bands like exploding using AI. That's something that we will never do because we believe in what we do. You know, that's the whole point of it. I'm showing the world who I am. We are showing the world who we are, the things that we like, the things that we do, and AI would never be able to capture that. You know.
Okay. So we are very close to this interview, Felipe. And to survive in the current music industry, mostly people often pressure over the musicians to become full-time content creators on TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube. Now, as the people ask, not the labels, not the musicians, it's the people. I need more content for the band that I liked. And many real artists feel this takes away valuable time and energy from actual songwriting. So, do you ever feel that the constant need to feed the social media algorithm force you to compromise your dignity or seriousness as a heavy band just to stay relevant?
100%. That's a question we've been asking ourselves like for too long now. Um, we never we never tried to be like content creators, but we've been feeling that we are getting like we are. How can I say that? I feel that if we are not doing content creations and new videos, we are losing a lot of the audience. You know, so that's a pressure that built around us. And lately, we hired a social media person to do some videos, some memes, and keep posting on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. But yeah, that's a tough thing for musicians. Nowadays, you need to focus in the music, but you can't. because you need to be a content creator, you need to be a videographer, you need to be like your booker, your everything, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I understand. I understand. Mostly all the bands are I like that now. So,
Yeah.
and well, we are very close to this, and one of the last interviews is when they love questions. We live in a streaming era dominated by short attention span, where playlists value single tracks over the full-length albums. And well, yet the pain that made me who I am is structured as a complete, cohesive, and emotional journey for the concept in general. So, do you think the traditional format of two 12-track album is dying, and did you feel pressured by the industry, especially for the people, to just release a series of disconnected, heavy singles instead of a full record?
Oh, that's a tough one. So, um, we've been doing singles like a lot, because that's where you get the attention. That's where you get the momentum going. Um, People are not used anymore to listen to full albums. Uh, I enjoy albums. I really enjoy albums. I enjoy the concept. I enjoy listening how the music connects. But that's something that we need to keep an eye on it, because if if you're a small band, you need to keep the momentum going. And unfortunately, singles are the best way to do it.
Hmm. Okay, okay. Yeah, well, the last question from this is the current modern metalcore scene is heavily saturated with the architect's style, give guitar riffs, spirited box style, ambient vocals, or even periphery style. A lot of that has periphery style since the 2000s. And also the electronic drops, and it has become a very predictable formula for a lot of bands now. Now, what do you what do you consciously avoid during the production on this album to ensure that AXTY sounds like an original entity rather than a generic clone of the top bands on well in this style?
Um, to be 100% honest, I wouldn't say that is a concern of ours. Um, as I said earlier, we're just trying to have fun and write music that we like. We are talking about our lives, and I believe that the fact that we are Brazilians resonates in the song. Like, it's a different taste, a different kind of perspective over the metalcore in general. So, um, yeah, that's not a thing that we are actively trying to avoid. But the fact that we like a lot of stuff, a lot of different stuff, and we try to put that in the new songs, I believe that's the thing that are telling us apart from the generic metalcore, octane metalcore sound. You know.
Hmm. Okay, I completely understand. I completely understand. Well, Felipe, we arrived to the sad moment of this interview. Thank you very much for trying this new record. It's a great one. Congratulations on it.
Thank
And
you.
but well, perhaps you want to add something to your Latin American fans and obviously Metallerium followers.
Um, I hope you see you all in the future. We really want to tour Latin America. Um, Let us know where you're listening from and where we should go. That's it.